welcome back to Switch to Linux. So we are at an unusual time for today. I usually do my news later in the evening, but I have to be traveling most of this weekend, and so I'm taking care of some of this now. If you are following the channel, then I will have a Saturday outdoor philosophy posted, and Sunday tinfoil hat time may or may not actually go. I'm not certain exactly if I'm going to do that or not. So, hello, Gavin. How's it going there? I'm doing well. And Escalado, greetings. All right, so today what we are going to have a look at is I only picked out a few articles today, mostly because, like I said, I'm on a really tight schedule for the rest of this weekend. So we're going to try and keep this show just for about an hour at the most, and who knows, maybe a little bit less. But the topics I picked out are net neutrality. It is kind of churning along a little bit. It's been a while since I've discussed net neutrality, so I'm able to do a little bit of that. We're going to do a bad business. We have a privacy, and then we're going to end with one okay then article. Greetings, hey Linux, how's it going there? Yeah, this is an unusual time for my live streams, but regardless, welcome. All right, so first we're going to jump right on in here to the news. We are going to go over and have a quick look at some net neutrality stuff. And so what's been going on, of course, in this whole net neutrality debacle, there's been so much back and forth on and off, this way, that way with everything. And, so many misconceptions on so many fronts. Right now, it really seems that a lot of your big companies are now coming out in favor of net neutrality. Wheeler's in favor. There was even, we'll look at a document here where a whole group of small-scale ISPs are in favor of net neutrality. The only people who want to do away with net neutrality is your big three telecoms, or however many telecoms it happens to be. And so right now it's really going to show, is AsiaPi Pi doing the will of the people, or is AsiaPi Pi doing the will of Comcast? That's kind of what the question is going to become with net neutrality. So here we're going to look at an article where Tom Wheeler is defending Title II rules and accusing Pi of helping monopolists, which I completely agree with. I think AsiaPi Pi that dude should just wear a Comcast NASCAR suit or something, you guys just there. I am very good. Hey Linux, thanks very much. Glitchy Soup, will you plan to use 60 SPF in next streams? No, because I have a monopoly. The best internet that I can get absolutely supports nothing more than 6 Mbps up, and 1080p at 30 frames per second is essentially what I can do without getting a lot of buffering and lagging, to my knowledge. Who knows? Maybe I will experiment with one on some afternoon or something. But as of right now, I don't have any specific plans of going with 60 SPF because, even if I got the highest internet that my server provides, I still can't go above 6 Mbps. And so I would be afraid that 60 frames per second would probably push me above that period of time. But I don't know. Maybe I'll experiment with it a little bit. But, for now, I got to stick with the 1080p, 30 frames per second. Otherwise, that. JJ Game, welcome. You really did not miss anything. We are on our first article, and we have not even yet dove on into it. I got for you gents over there and over there across the pond. I'm actually drinking Yorkshire tea. I'm pronouncing that wrong. I apologize. Yorkshire? How do you pronounce that? But I am drinking Yorkshire tea imported from the UK. So that's what I have going on with me today. All right, so we're going to dive on into this first article here. Tom Wheeler defending the Title II rules, accuses Pi of helping monopolists, which I think that we have more than enough ample evidence that he is. All right, so what we're going to look at here, of course, the FCC is like, there's all this regulation on the internet. No, there's no regulation on the internet, okay? What net neutrality rules say here in the US is that a company may not throttle anything. They're like, it's killing innovation. No, it's not killing innovation. Doing away with net neutrality will kill innovation. Because if I, in this little office here, want to start up a streaming service and Comcast can prioritize who can stream, my service won't even get off the ground. Okay, that is stifling innovation. Failing to stifle, like this whole concept of net neutrality stifling innovation is the most backwards crap I've ever heard of in my life. It's so backwards, because what net neutrality says is no company may prioritize any speed from any other company for any reason, period. That's what it means. And of course, Agent Puzzle, but we just put these rules into effect because I'm an idiot. No, the reason rules went into effect in 2015 is because there were a series of other long-term rules that expired, meaning that a rule no longer applied. There was a long running rule that said a ISP could not throttle any data one way or the other. Those rules almost quietly expired. They expired fairly quiet. And then all of a sudden, we started to see weird things, and Netflix started to get deprioritized on Comcast networks. Shocking, because Comcast wanted to push their own streaming service, and you couldn't get Netflix to work. And guess what? I have a Comcast monopoly. There is an absolute ISP monopoly where I am, which is a large center. We have a complete monopoly. And we're going to look at that article here a little bit later. I think I pulled it up anyway. Maybe I didn't pull it up. Actually, you know what? Let's just talk about it here because they reference the same article here. So he says, Wheeler says there's a monopoly provider for 3/4 of the homes in America with no choice. Okay. And what he's citing here is this article. And the article, if you go to Ars Technica, you can probably find the article. But came out, I think it was this week. I forget when, but basically it was a study looking at all of the various ISP availabilities. And what they were looking at is how many homes have access to multiple 25 Mbps download times, download and 3 Mbps upstream. Because if you watched or attempted anyway to watch the stream that I did on Wednesday, you know that it got off to a rocky, rough start because what happened is Comcast decided they wanted to raise my bill $30 a month. Well, I can't afford a $30 a month increase on bill on top of everything else going up. And so while he was talking to them, like, oh, we can give you this plan here. Well, that plan had an uptime of only about 1 Mbps. So I had to call Comcast back, and I have decent negotiation skills. And so I was like, you know what? I need more than what you got. I cannot pay you $75. It's more worth me to see if I can go find, a cellular carrier that can do it. And so I ended up splitting the difference. I'm paying only $15 more than I was paying last month, but I'm getting the same up speed. Now, our up speed is capped at 6 where I am, which is crazy. So Wheeler is pointing out this data that say 75% of homes in America have 1 and 25 Mbps or greater provider. Many of them don't even contain 1, which is scary. And so what he's saying is the question becomes, will giant companies be able to exploit their monopoly position? Who is going to stand up for the consumers, and who is going to stand up for innovation, and who's going to stand up for the most important network in determining the future in the 21st century? That is the ultimate question. And the reality is, if Comcast is allowed to self-regulate itself, we are all screwed. Because every 3 months, Comcast keeps on trying to add $10 a month to my bill. Like, why are you not paying $10 for your modem rental? Blah, blah, blah. Because I've owned the same modem since 2005. So I'm talking to the people at Comcast. And if you didn't check out my video, let me actually find it for you real quick. So in the event that you did not get a chance to see that video, let me find that video for you. Because what I did is I actually got permission to record a Comcast call. And I was talking to the lady there, and I had asked her, why is it that every 3 months? And she says, yeah, I see multiple times in here where you have called in and shown, and we are showing in our records that you happen to have your own modem. So I said, why is it that this keeps on happening? And her answer back to me, literally, it was, we cannot control this. It is the back-end auditors, and those back-end auditors keep on adding it. Okay? So it's like, how do I get a hold of this back-end auditor to let him know that he needs to stop doing this? You can't. You can't. So these people just keep on adding this to my bill every 3 months. Yes. Is there anything we can do about it? No. You're expecting this company to self-regulate itself? So here's the link. I just added the link to that. All right. So, I mean, this is crazy. So, Title II smoke screen. That's what Agent Pie says. Smoke screen for... No, this is the regulation. Because what happened is that Comcast was throttling Netflix. So a lawsuit's passed on. The judge said you cannot impose this type of rule how the internet currently is. You have to classify it as Title II classification, which is what was used to break up, guess what? A monopoly. And so they reclassifies the ISPs as Title II to enable them to say no ISP may throttle any other data for any other reason. That's what had happened. So this isn't a smoke screen. This is what has to be done. So people are saying, we don't disagree with the concept. Where can I find that quote? Basically, the company's like, we don't disagree with Comcast, Time Warner, all these guys, Charter, like, we don't disagree with net neutrality. We just disagree with Title II classification. Well, the reason they're disagreeing with Title II classification is because without Title II classification, you cannot have net neutrality. That is why. That is why. Okay, so Wheeler is explaining all this stuff like a 3-year-old because Agent Pie apparently doesn't respond to logic. Why would you respond to logic when Comcast is paying you millions of dollars? Why would you possibly do that? And so Wheeler finally concludes here, there needs to be a referee on the field ready to throw a flag in the future as the internet evolves. It is not smart for a regulator to put things in concrete and not have the ability to look and make judgments as things evolve. And that's what this is about. So where the internet currently is with net neutrality is exactly where it needs to stay. Because Pi keeps on coming back and talking about, these companies, they promise, they're even going to put it in their terms of service. They promise not to throttle anything. Ever read terms of service? It can be changed at any time for any reason with no consulting for you, and you are absolutely bound to it, or you can cancel your service. And since we don't have any other options, we have no choice but to get in here. So there has to be a government regulator to sit here and take care of this. So 2005, Comcast tried to do away with any peer-to-peer transactions. Guess what was peer-to-peer transactions at this point in time? Skype. Skype is no longer peer-to-peer as of a few months ago. It is now cloud-based, but it was peer-to-peer for a long time. So for years, AT&T, Verizon blocked Google Wallet because they're on competing services. Verizon blocked third-party tethering apps until FCC stopped it. Basically what that meant is when I got my first smartphone, you didn't have the free ability to tether your Wi-Fi connection onto your computer. But since I had at that time a rooted phone, I could utilize a third-party tethering app, plug it in, and then I could bridge and use my phone's cellular data on my computer. Now, that's kind of taken for granted nowadays, but back when smartphones first came out, that was not actually the case. And so that's kind of what had happened there is they were blocking these. And in fact, there was even a time that once the various smartphone developers started building in the ability to bridge the Wi-Fi, your cell carriers initially blocked that access and said you had to pay extra to be able to share your data signal across your phone with your computer. Well, that was another lawsuit followed again under this net neutrality issue to make it that if this phone has the capability of sharing its Wi-Fi, a cellular carrier could not block that. But these were all cases where this type of stuff had occurred. And so Pi going, oh, there's no cases. These guys are honest. Trust me, Comcast has your best heart in mind. Yeah, right. The good news is, though, is that even Netflix now, they kind of had a change in view, and they're coming back. Almost every major company, except the ISPs, are coming on and saying, no, you need to keep the internet where it is. Because they realize that if net neutrality goes away, Google could very well be knocked off half of the country. That's detrimental to their bottom line. So Egypt Pie's like, oh, this is hurting all of the small companies. So a band of, I don't even know how many small ISPs got together and wrote them this letter saying, hey, as small internet service companies, you know, we are in support of the current open internet order and its underlying legal foundation under Title II. We have encountered no additional barriers to investment or deployment as a result of the 2015 decision to reclassify broadband and telecoms services and have long supported network neutrality as the core principle for deployment of networks and for the American public to access the internet. Okay. We further express our opposition to proposed plans to reverse course and again undergo another reclassification of broadband back into an informative service. The federal courts have made it very clear that network neutrality depends on the FCC maintaining broadband is a telecommunication service. Like, what else is it? If the internet is not telecommunication service, what in the world is it? I mean, please explain this to me like I'm 3. I don't get it. Basically, these guys, okay, lastly, we implore the FCC to examine the ramifications of the Congressional Review Act, repeal of the broadband privacy, and provide guidance. We have long championed our customers' privacy and believe Congress was in error to erode their legal right to privacy. However, the repeal's detrimental effect on the reach and scope of Section 222s of the ISP's privacy provisions have resulted in great uncertainty for the market that the FCC could help provide clarity. Okay, so here is the list of the various small ISPs that signed that order. So there is a whole lot of people, almost every major internet company, almost every small ISP. The only people who want to get rid of this crap is the major ISPs, the guys who have the full, absolute monopoly over all of this stuff. That's it. That's the only people who want that. So that's what I have to say about net. Oh, wait, is there one more about net neutrality? Nope, that's all I had to say about net neutrality. All right, let's have a quick look at the comments here. All right. Biggie Uniform, greetings. I might switch back to my Android 4.4, customize it to look new. This ROM is kind of buggy. All right. Sure, Microsoft does not do that. Which one? I forget where I'm at. We're in the volcano. Greetings, Fair OS developer. How's it going? Gosh, I hit the video because it didn't say there was a live stream. Huh. Yeah, I think I put the notification up last night since I knew I was going to be live streaming during the middle of the day. Oh boy. Jeesh. Come on, YouTube. Fix the comment system. And greetings there. It's making a distro based on Solus OS. Yes, no problem, man. How much you for internet pay per month and what speed do I get? I am currently on 59 on, I think it's supposed to be 100 down and 6 up. But I have a DOCS 2.0 modem, which kind of caps me out at 30. So if I put a DOC 3 on here, I'd probably be able to get much faster download times. But, I mean, 30 is way more than I need, honestly. Let's see. On the subject Farron OS, unstable PPA development has started. So now 27.0 development has finally started big time. Sweet, awesome. Yeah, everybody, check out Farron OS if you haven't already. That's a pretty cool distro. Greetings, Jake. How's it going? Jake's Den Potato. Greetings there. Farron OS developer, is there a way to download the Farron theme look changer? I don't know. Farron OS will have to respond to that one. Hate credit recovery for my high school. I hate credit recovery for my high school. Credit recovery? Huh. I'm doing well, Ryan. How are you? I see you've changed your picture again. This one clearly does not look like a duck. Meow. He's so cute. Okay, so there's a deb file for the Farron themer. Awesome. Cool. Greetings, Shatter. How's it going? And everyone else. Skype is a garbage machine. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. And it's getting worse. Once they get full-blown social on me, I might just have to completely dump it. I pretty much right now, I have Skype over on the computer you can't see because my comments are covering it. And I have Skype on my Mac. I refuse to put Skype on any... It's kind of like I don't do anything with my iPhone on my Mac because I don't want my Mac to know I have an iPhone. And I don't want my Windows computer to know I have Skype. So I just keep them a little separate. I keep that one corporation level of differential between them, you know. And so that's kind of the way I do that. System D security flaw can allow remote code execution attacks by Begin the Linux Guru. Check the video ASAP. We will look into that. Yeah, patch. Keep your Linux systems patched, which I need to run some updates on this one, I think. Why can't there be a Linux phone? Well, there sort of is. The Canonical had the Ubuntu Touch. They abandoned the project. The last I knew, a group of hobbyists picked up on it, so it still is in existence. And so we really need to push for that, I think. I would pay a lot of extra money for a Linux phone. And I would change carriers for a Linux phone. I would do a lot for a Linux phone. Oh, boy. And also, though, if you do have a phone that you can flash Ubuntu Touch onto, KDE actually has what I think is a way better UI for the phone. It requires the Ubuntu Touch as the core, and then you install the KDE, we'll call it phone environment? I don't know, on top of it. But you can check out the KDE's mobile site. I'm not sure if they're still going or not. But yeah, we need to. And I know GNOME was trying to work on one as well, but I'm not sure where that one is. But yeah, maybe we need to get all these guys that really want Linux phones and focus on one just to get it launched, and then we can go back to our own projects. Come on, safety in numbers, people. Let's band up as the Linux geeks and do this. We need Linux phones. We need Linux phones. I want to run apt-get update on my phone. Come on. So who's going to fight for net neutrality? Switch to Linux. You gonna? Yes, I signed the petitions. I do what I can, and I raise awareness, and I clarify the issue. So yes, I fight for net neutrality, and I hope we all do. Well, at least those of us in America. Those of you, the rest of the guys outside, y'all, I hope you're just watching this train wreck coming. Comcast has Twitter ads for them supporting net neutrality. Yeah, they do. They do support net neutrality. No, dig into it. They don't support net neutrality. That's their public misinformation campaign, actually. What distro does Switch to Linux use? Switch to Linux use Linux Mint Cinnamon for my primary things. Let me grab my setup there. Let me do this one here. There we go. There's my desktop. Linux Mint Cinnamon. I'm using, I think it's called a mint, green mint glass theme. So this is what I'm using for my setup. This is, of course, one. I have two monitors on this computer right now. You're only seeing the one. But I'm using Linux Mint Cinnamon. I have a computer that is slightly out of view for you right now. If I go back to this view, you can see it. This is Linux Mint KDE. Which is a very nice build there. And I also have an Ubuntu Mate running for my media stuff and various other distros. In fact, starting next week when I'm back in my office, I'm going to be running this computer on this little Debian 9 distro for a while and see what I think of that. Changed again at Ryan. Yep. I'm on Spectrum, supposed to get 300 Mbps, but I know I don't. I'm sad. Bummer. Okay, ISPS, you are not helpful. You are running the internet. Oh, come on. Come on, Google. Google. They really need to fix this comment system. Gentune Arch. Facebook's location services sees you are in a Hawaiian volcano. Sweet! Switch Linux. I was born when Henry VIII was born. My teacher was born on Henry VIII's brother. I think we are brothers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Cool. Gentoo and Arch. Love my house, which is a volcano. Ryan, are you building a house inside of Minecraft again? Don't release that red matter on the world. Use a credit system. Many high schools in my area. Really sucks. What? Oh, explain further, Ryan. I don't get it. What credit system? Check out the latest Farron OS PPA. Check it out there. All right. I will have a look at Farron OS when there's another big revision or when I get to the list of all these other distros people want me to look at. I'll get back to it. I did a lot on Farron OS already, but we'll come back and do more as there's new develops coming out. All right. I love the new vid of WordPress. Well, thank you. I will be trying to push out at least one of those a week, maybe a little bit more, maybe more, and then teeter down to one a week just to get more content up. I'm not sure. We're the same t-shirt and a lot of different videos. Is that like a uniform or branding thing? It is a branding thing. This is my Switch to Linux shirt. I have one of them, actually. I need to get another one. So yeah, it is branding. Actually, the only one I'm not wearing this shirt in is my WordPress tutorials. I'm actually wearing my my business shirt, which is my web designer shirt. Okay, so Gentoo Arch. Which one is the one for the go? All right. I like how huge KDE's mobile soft keys are. They look ugly, so huge. Yeah, I think they did that to just to make it easier to touch. I'm not sure though. Burn my house for a Linux phone. Rob a bank for a Linux phone. Don't do that, man. Don't rob a bank for a Linux phone because you'll be in jail and you won't be able to play with it. You know, don't do that. Don't break the laws for your Linux phones. Okay. Kind of stuff. Let's see. Net neutrality is the best. If that's gone, going to Tor for then onwards. Yeah, except your ISP will block the Tor network. Some of them do, you know. Because the Tor is a network. It is a network. If the net neutrality rules go away, Tor is easily blocked. As it is right now, they can't block Tor. Okay. Using 16.10, 17.0 version, then Ubuntu, then update ASP before compromise your system as Ubuntu is using Upstart plus systemd. Any system D2 to 3 versions are vulnerable. Yes, I will push upgrades on that as soon as I can. Actually, I think doesn't Linux Mint also use systemd? Which case I need to update all my Linux Mints on that as well. So I haven't pushed updates on this computer for a few days. VitalTube, how's it going? Y'all should know that your up and down speeds are not what they advertise. They used to post real speeds, but not now. They take hours on the phone with them to get real speeds. Yep. Woohoo! I hit the bottom of the comments. Me AT&T plans 30 down, 30 up, around 3 up. I'm not sure what down is. Let's see. Comcast / AT&T plans. Yeah. All right, well, let's go ahead and have a look at our next news category, which is bad business. I think once again I'm going to use my corporatocracy banner. Technically, these do not qualify as corporatocracy, but close enough. So bad business. Instagram influencers. Translation: the Instagram people that you think you're following, but you're really following their marketers instead. They continue to ignore warnings about stealth ads like Instagram. Look at me! I am posing with my coffee cup. I totally did not get paid to advertise Yellowstone. But a few months back, the FTC sent out several different warnings to these various influencers on Instagram saying, hey, what you're doing is crossing the lines and is advertising. And you need to disclose that this is an advertisement. But they keep on doing this. So at what point in time we're just going to start, Instagram would be cool to just hey guys, ban. Let's just ban these idiots, okay? They're not the ones posting it anyway. It's like you get all these guys and it's like, this is my cool shirt. Like, look at these photos up here in the top here. Like, okay, don't tell me that these are not advertisements. Well, some of them. But the thing is that it is illegal in this country to, for example, I have here, I'm using this, hopefully I can touch this without breaking it, but I have my Meteor microphone here, okay? And I've done some videos on the Meteor microphone. And if I were given this Meteor microphone and then I'm doing a review about how great and awesome it is, and I do not disclose that it was given to me for a review or I was compensated for a review, that actually breaks the rules. Now, for me, I was not given this Meteor mic. What I did is I wanted to get a better studio mic because I sounded like crap. If you watch my old videos, I don't sound very good with I had a little Skull Candy $10 headphones that I would use with a little microphone right here. And that's what I would use. And, this sounds a whole lot better. And what I did is I went online and I did some research on the various different types of microphones, and I settled on the Meteor mic because the quality difference isn't any better from the Yetis, but this one is quite a bit cheaper than a Yeti, and it is much more portable than a Yeti. Even comes with its nice little bag right here that I keep it in when I'm not using it. So I have this nice bag, nice long cable. And are there issues with it? I think there's some issues with it. I've actually had to reflash the firmware on it once. So there's a few issues, but overall, if you're looking for a good microphone, I'd recommend this. Now, I bought this mic, and for me to do some type of review like that, having paid for it myself, whether I say it's great or whether I say it's crap, is perfectly fine. But if they have compensated me in any way for talking about the microphone, and I do not disclose that, that is a violation of these terms. But what's happening is all of these stars, be it movie stars, actors, musicians, they're all doing up. Of course, I'll use Kendrick Lamar, for example, released an album right around Easter. I forget the name of the album, but for him to go up and promote his own album, obviously that is a commercial for him, and that's completely fine because that's him promoting his stuff on his channel, no problem. Okay, but if he were to come up and be sporting, I've got to find something. He's sporting a Dell computer. I love my Dell computer. My Dell computer. I sleep with this at night. And he's like, going on and on about his awesome Dell computer. If he is paid by Dell or compensated by Dell and he's not disclosing that as an advertisement, he has fallen short of this. Okay? And so that's what's going on, is all these stars are still accepting money for doing essentially commercials and not disclosing it. And at some point in time, we need to actually start finding these people some real money. Maybe they'll stop. Like, okay, you got paid XYZ amount of money. We're going to take 5 times XYZ amount of money from you because you keep on breaking the rules. And so we get that kind of stuff going on. So this is bad business to be pushing up commercials and not disclosing that they're commercials. Because a lot of the challenges, a lot of your people who are big on following these social media sites, be it Instagram or Pinterest or Facebook or Twitter, whoever your favorite guy is you like to follow, if you are a younger person and you are more impressionable to that and you're not recognizing that's an advertising, I mean, this starts getting to that scary part again. And that's kind of a concern that I have regarding that. So that's kind of scary. Of course, man, we got a lot of comments going back and forth. Let's jump over and look at some comments real quick. All right, get Gen 2 on a Raspberry Pi. How's Gen 2 work on a Raspberry Pi? I've used Debian a few times. Debian Pi, whatever it's called. I don't know. Raspberry, that's it. Okay. Credit system, basically, I don't actually know. I just know it matters. They have never explained it to students. Yay! Ryan, you will definitely want to tune in for my outdoor philosophy tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Farron OS right now is just Linux Mint with a Farron OS PPA and packages installed. Yep. Where is Switch to Linux located? I am located in State College, Pennsylvania. Not too far from the Nittany Lions. Slackware and Gentoo, some independent distros, rest of us are all System D, and now even new Debian 9, 10, SID still have 223 version System D vulnerabilities. Yep. Gotta get some patching done. Sleep with my Dell computer. I do stuff to it. Things you should never talk about. The reviewer. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Watch out memes on Farron. Okay. There's no way out if you're a system admin. You have... Let's use System D. Okay. Gen 2 on Pi worked great. Cool. All right. So, the next article in Bad Business. This is an interesting question. This is regarding Grubhub. But of course this has ties to Grubhub, Uber, Lyft, blah, 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 lots of other people. And what the concern and the challenge is here is that at what point in time are you an employee and at what point in time are you a contractor? And this has become this huge thing because, you know, I'm a freelancer and I am gladly a freelancer for several different reasons. Like reason A, I don't even know, where's my business phone? There's my business phone. So reason A, this is my business phone for if you call my business, and it kind of stays over here. And when I'm not working, I don't carry that with me. I'm a freelancer. You can't reach me when I don't want to be reached. Okay? And I can set my own prices for the projects. I can set my own time, my own schedule. I use my own equipment. Now, there are some things that, you know, some contracts may require you to do X, Y, or Z. Like one of my contracts requires me to have a stupid account through Google. So I have a Google account tied to that particular thing. Of course, I'm a Google Apps for Work admin over there. And so I have access to all these types of things. They're like, we want you to make sure you password protect your computer. Well, what idiot doesn't? Well, except me sometimes. But so I was like, yeah, fine. You want to go this way? You want to go this way? You want to play these games? So I built an entirely multi-encrypted cubes install just for their work. Yeah, that'll do it. And so... while as a contractor, you can have a few implications pushed upon you for how you do your work. It is illegal for a company to arbitrarily assign you a contractor simply because they do not want to pay the fees associated with an employee. So what fees are associated with an employee? Well, if in case you're not aware of this, here in the United States, my comments are going crazy again. I got to figure out where I was. Yeesh. We'll go there. Okay. And so here in the States, as you're working and you have to pay the man, you know, all the taxes, an employee has what is called the FICA, or is it FICA? I don't know. It's not FICA. That's a credit score thing. I thought it was, I don't know, whatever the world the thing's called. Basically, when you have your taxes taken out, part of your taxes goes towards income taxes, and the other part of your taxes goes towards Social Security. Well, if you are an employee, you pay that Social Security tax. Your employer matches that also into Social Security. as a freelancer, an independent contractor, or a self-employed person, I have to pay both parts of that. So my taxes are higher to that degree. So I have to pay not only my employee contribution to Social Security, I also have to pay my business contribution to Social Security. So my taxes and such go up. Well, that is an advantage for a company to say, we are hiring you as a contractor because we don't want to pay that extra percentage. And we don't have to worry about benefits. And we don't want to have to worry about equipment or other things. So what's happening, though, is that a lot of these services, Grubhub, Uber, Lyft, like almost every one of these silly things is now becoming these things where it's like they're trying to become these small little independent core businesses without actually having employees to do the work. They do everything as a contractor. And this is an interesting case because what's going on is people are saying, no, we are employees. We are not contractors. And of course, FedEx had the same thing. UPS had the same thing. They're trying to say, oh, our guys are all contractors. Translation, we want to cut our fees back because our CEO needs to have 5 more yachts, but we don't want to have to pay for the horrible crap of actually having employees. And so they're trying to classify everybody as contractors. And this hurts the final people because now they have to pay all of their own contributions to the taxes, but then they have to pay more taxes when the corporation is still reaping in boatloads and boatloads of money. Now, I'm happily and choose to be and classify myself and maintain always being a contractor. I don't mind doing that extra thing for the freedom I have to tell a guy, no, I'm not working with you, or no, I'm not working today, and that's kind of things. But this is a case is going through, and this will have ramifications on all of these other companies existing and future, because there's tons of these companies that are starting up that are really just giving people slave labor. Like, how much do you actually make doing Uber? Not actually much. Or Lyft or all these other things. Not nearly as much as you could if things were changed around. So to help you out, the IRS here in the States happens to have a checklist that you can walk through to determine where are you. Because this is not me as a person. I can choose I'm a contractor or an employee, and definitely not your company cannot choose whether you are a contractor or an employee. And if a company misclassifies a person as a contractor when they should be an employee, they are liable to go back and correct all of the taxes. And the person who was improperly categorized has the legal ability to go forward and attempt to recoup some of their losses. So there is a big checklist, and we're not going to go through all of it, but the basic types of things, one of those core things, and the core thing that's going to hurt Grubhub, hurt Uber, hurt Lyft, hurt all these other companies, is one of the little provisions in here is, can this company work without the people in this position? So if every Uber driver is a contractor, Uber drivers must be employees. It's one of those non-negotiables. Unless there are full-time drivers who are corporate employees, it is illegal to classify them all as contractors. Because if all of the contractors stopped working for a day, Uber wouldn't exist. It would have no way to meet the qualifications of the customers. And that is their problem. So this is an interesting trial to watch to see what is going to go on here. Because if this comes down and they say, yes, indeed, you are employees, this is going to have major financial ramifications on big companies, which is probably a good thing, because the biggest challenge we have is not some male versus female wage gap. It is an executive versus a bottom line employee wage gap. There is no reason a guy in a restaurant needs to get paid. I'm going to do it. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. There is no reason under the sun why the slave labor of the employees of the small level businesses, small level contractors, small level stores, retail outlets should be making $10 an hour, $15 an hour, be working 40-hour weeks, barely be able to eat, barely be able to afford the rent, barely be able to do any of this, while the corporate CEOs have their own 15 private jets and yachts all over the place. There is no reason, there is nothing that guy does that he justifies having a pay wage gap that is several hundred 100,000 times the low-level employee. That is ridiculous. And all they're doing is trying to classify these people as contractors so they have to pay even less so that their executives and their shareholders get even more money. That is crap. That is crap. So watch this case. This is going to be interesting to see what happens. Let's have a look at our comments. I got to slow down. Maybe find some water. Package manager, let's see. Oh, come on. You made a Discord for praising the holy word of MSN. What? I missed something somewhere along the line. Invite. Maybe some explicit language, keep in mind. Okay. Really, keep that in mind. Add me to a friend, DM me. Okay. SE Linux for Red Hat. App Armor for SUSE. Meow. Meow. Meow for you? Alright, here's a meow. Meow. Kitty. Alright. There you go. There's a meow. I can't keep it over there because that one messes with my microphone. And so I try not to talk when the kitty's in view. Well, just updated repositories. Windows 7 currently on is connected to the network so far. No Pieta. Yeah, you know, I threw that article out on this new ransomware that's going around this week. I was thinking about talking about, but I decided to throw it out. This is more ransomware, only this time it's not what the researchers are saying. This is not actually ransomware. It's simply a wiper. It's wiping it. If somebody pays them some money back, they don't, but whatever. Safety of children. What's your Discord name? What? Says WannaCry said you became a victim of PITA ransomware. Yeah, it says ransomware, but it really is a wiper. They're just seeing if anybody gives them any money. But at this point in time, even if you pay them, you'll get a key that doesn't actually do anything. That's what the researchers are finding out. Fire! Tom is a Marxist confirmed. No, I'm not a Marxist. I'm just not a corporatocratist. I actually believe in free enterprise and capitalism. But the thing is that capitalism must contain a degree of morality. And once that morality is removed from capitalism, then the people become the units of production, not a people to service. And that's the difference. Because in a corporatocracy, the corporations, the larger corporations will direct the government to pass the laws that benefits them, and the consumers are simply units of production. In a capitalist society, anybody has the free enterprise in the marketplace, but there's a deep degree of morality. So, you know, the capitalism is part of the law that says if you appear drunk, we will not serve you another drink. The corporatocracy says get drunk, and here, have a little bit more, because now that you're drunk, you're going to spend a whole lot more money, and anything that we can do to extract the money from you is the challenge. In fact, it went so bad in Miami, and in the city of Miami, it is a felony, not felony, like felonies are more federal, but it is an immediate jailable offense to dine and dash. It's not like most other places. It's a little misdemeanor. You get a ticket, you get a citation, go home now. They hold you in jail until such time it can be paid. And there's entire, I'll call them brothels for a lack of a better word, that will simply seek to get a person so drunk they just spend. And when it comes time to leave, they see the bill is so high, they try and dash, and then they end up in jail until they pay. An entire amount of craziness around that entire thing. Turn on your AC. Yeah, I do need to turn on my AC. Gonna wipe out my Skype too. Dangerous app. Yeah, it is, but unfortunately in web design, where the number of people I have to work with, I simply have to run Skype. So I have a dedicated computer for it. Yeah, cute kitties. Cute kitties. Cat is disappointed. I don't know what for. I'll make sure he's not disappointed at the end. He'll get some kitty treats. Oh, boy. All right. Well, let's go back to... Where's my corporatocracy banner? There we are. All right, so there's that. There's that. Oh, this is interesting. This is bad business if I've ever seen some. So this case came out a few months ago. There's this court software out there that was accidentally kind of like misfiring and causing people to have longer jail times than they should have, be in jail when they shouldn't have been, be arrested when they shouldn't have been, and even force people onto the sexual predators watch lists even when they weren't supposed to be. All because of errors in a software. And so this, I don't know if it was a public defender or who it was that came out and passed an order, like tried to go up and get the judge to say, hey, company that made this software that we bought, you have to fix the software. The judge denied the order. No, we're not requiring him to fix the software that's sending people to jail unnecessarily and forcing people to register as sex offenders for, like, shoplifting or whatever else. This got to appeals court. The appeals court shot it down. Court software in America is full of bugs, and it's sending people to jail inappropriately. And the judge says, no, they don't have to fix it. I can beat myself over the head. Welcome to America. We can screw up everybody's life and have no obligation to fix anything. Am I choppy? All right, we'll go over here and see if we're less choppy. Thanks for letting me know it's choppy. Yeah, I mean, occasionally I get some of those where it's choppy. Nobody had ever flagged that background before, and I can't tell if they're choppy or not. So, anyway, how's that? That should be better. That should be better. I'll stay over here for now. Maybe I'll go less crazy. I don't know. But anyway, so here's this court software. The judge refuses the order to fix the court software that's sending people to jail. All right. Welcome to Donald Trump's America. No, this actually first made news in made news in the Obama administration. It has nothing to do with Trump. All right, let's have a look at privacy. I think my privacy one's better too. I'm pretty sure this background's just fine as well. All right. Yeah, occasionally if I change backgrounds, some of my background videos will actually cause some choppiness, and I thought I had them all worked out, but maybe I didn't. All right, so this is neat. We're crossing now over into the privacy news, and Facebook now crosses 2 billion users. 27% of the entire world uses Facebook. I am so sad about this. Of course, they want to have this massive kumbaya, we love the world entire place where everybody shares every bit of data with everybody else. Like, Zuckerberg wants an entirely open society. This is so stupid. For somebody who's so smart, he sure is an idiot. Of course, this doesn't apply to him. If you can get a chance to find it. There's a documentary out there called, I think it's called An Eye on You. No, is it not Eye on You? Terms and Conditions May Apply. And I'm not sure if it's available for free anymore. It used to be. These guys were looking at terms and conditions and how they change. And near the end of the video, they get a shot of Mark Zuckerberg. And they go out with a camera, and he tells them, please turn off the camera. And so they turn off the main camera, but he had camera-enabled lenses on his glasses. And he said, well, since Zuckerberg doesn't seem to take our privacy seriously, I don't think I should take his seriously. And so he's actually, chats with him a little bit more, and the guy's a little bit friendlier once he thinks the camera's turned off. But it wasn't. Well, this is the same thing. Zuckerberg wants this full open society, and the more we do with Facebook, the more we are in danger. Now, even this up here, like any website that even has any type of Facebook share link, any of these websites that have a Facebook share link can send data back to Facebook. Oh, I broke Facebook on my computer though. You can't see it because it popped up in its own little window. But if I actually open these up, you'll see anything going to Facebook.com can't connect. I have completely blocked Facebook from most computers in my office. So that's kind of it there. Let's see. Something isn't to do with Donald Trump? Never. Yeah, more Facebook garbage. Yay! Yep. Zuck has his webcam taped off. Says enough about his morality. Yep. Is it on Top Doc Films? I don't think it is. It used to be something you could watch for free on view.yahoo.com, and then that came off. I think is license to display it or something expired. And then I thought I saw it online for free somewhere, but I haven't seen it online for free for a while, so you might have to buy it now. But it's called Terms and Conditions May Apply. It's pretty cool. I know there's one little thing they had wrong in the video, but I'm not completely sure how much more is. But for the most part, it's very accurate, very interesting. I've been thinking of switching to a Linux distro, but there are so many out there. What do you recommend for a potential new user? Linux Mint Cinnamon for a new user, particularly if you're coming from a Windows environment. If you're kind of scared about computers a little bit or you're coming from Mac, you might look at Elementary, but I hate Elementary. But go ahead and look at that one as well. But yeah, Linux Mint. Many Ubuntu flavors are safe as well, but they won't be quite as intuitive as Mint will be. So try that. I need Facebook for my Farmville. Farmville. I didn't know that was still a thing. Ubuntu is going through a switch of desktop environments, so don't try it till 18. Yeah, I don't know. Put tea in root beer. It's good. 1010 would drink it again. Tea in root beer. Huh. That sounds neat. Love making awful games and an awful website. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. So on to our kind of topic article for the day. Oh, this is scary. So a company you've never heard of sends you letters about your medical condition. I'm scared now. So, there is this company here. What's the name of this company again? This is one of these data broking companies. Now, Walgreens has part in this. They're playing a little thing. So, Accurian Health is the main company here that is kind of in question. So, what's happening here is there's this company, Accurian Health, but they are utilizing code from another small startup called Navistone. Okay, so Navistone is this little startup that basically they would push a form onto any website. Like any website has some form, you know that. And the thing is, you'd start filling out the form, but even before you push the submit button, they would harvest any amount of data you put in that form and sent that in. So basically, clicking on the form, typing it in, and pushing the tab key triggered a JavaScript code that would take the contents of that thing even before you push send and send it along anyway. And so with Navistone being one of these huge data brokers, they were buying and selling data with a lot of other people. And by taking the form data that was or was not submitted, other information from the browser, other things that your browser would store, like most browsers, the default action, in fact, here on Firefox, I generally disable this. I'm not sure if it's disabling this or not. So let's go ahead and have a look at this. So here is my preferences. If you come down to the privacy tab, Remember my browsing and download. Let's see. Is this it or is it security? I'm trying to remember where this is. Okay. Remember logins for sites. I'm trying to remember. This is something I don't do frequently, so I can't remember where it is. Bear with me while I find it. What I'm looking for is the location here, and then they keep changing stuff. Okay. So the thing that will enable you, really, that should be disabled. I'm going to yell at Firefox here because I know I always disable that. So Firefox turned that back on last time it updated. Firefox, I'm mad at you now. Better watch yourself. I'll switch to Chrome. No, I wouldn't do that. But anytime you enter in data, I want to say it's search and form history. That's the one. You want to uncheck this. If you have your search and form history, this is where you go to a form and it's like email and you go to type it in and it will automatically remember what information. Well, if you went to a page that had a form that called that information and this history was stored in your browser and your browser's like, ooh, a form, I'm going to autofill it for you. Simply navigating to the site would send all that data onto this company. You never had to agree to terms and conditions, and you never had to click the actual submit form. So this caused a little bit of a ruckus because now this data was taking all sorts of data from the computer, cross-referencing it from all sorts of data, like groups like Facebook, and actually figuring out physical mailing addresses for people, attaching it to medical data that you might look up online and would make this assumption and send you letters. Okay, this should be so flat out illegal, it's not even funny. And Gizmodo eventually contacted them back over a period of a month. They stopped recollecting the data. This is a little bit about how the system worked on this article, but it would do this. Now, the reason this really stuck with me is there is, 4th of July is coming up here, and there's some races and runs in our town, and so I usually do a few of them a year. And so there's like a 4K. They're doing a 4K instead of a 5K. So, you can click here, sign up online. Well, unfortunately, they usually use these third-party programs and to do these, and whatever. So I went on to the New Year's Eve one. I went on there, and whatever. That one didn't have any red flags, but I went to this other one, which was like Active, I think it was. I think it was called Active. And let me find it real quick. I should have pulled this up, but so the third-party service that they're using is through the so there's a register online at active.com. Okay, so let me drop this into this one here so you can see it. So here is your registration form. So I'm like, okay, so let's go up and look at the registration form. So you can come in here and let's just say, okay, we're going to run whatever. Hit continue. Oh, email address or login. Blah, blah, blah at blah.com. Now, notice, they have my email address, and I didn't even think of anything. What? No. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, password enters incorrect. Okay, I need to get into this form. Change email address. No, I don't have any. Okay, this should be like so random it should not be an account. Let's see. Apparently somebody's literally tried blah, blah, blah at blah.com. Oh, that's hilarious. Somebody has actually tried that email address for this group. Yay, there you go. Okay, so now I'm over here and I can select my participant here, blah, blah, blah. Please fix the following. You got to fill this information. Now notice that there is JavaScript code. So if I fill something out and they're using Navisoft's code, then I could very possibly be sending this information to them live. Ooh, of course, sign up, sign up, sign up. This was me like, but we got to something interesting. Look at this! Awesome! Your registration qualifies you to try magazines free! Pick take your 3 magazines for free. Now, if you can't read the text that's down here, of course, I actually read stuff. And so I'm like, what's this little tiny text say I can barely read? There we go. We can read it now. Try 3 months free. To cancel, simply call and your issue will stop. Otherwise, your selections will continue for a full year and the credit card you provided us will be charged the rate shown for a total of 15 months of issues for each. Selections will then continue annually each year until you receive a reminder notice specifying the price plus processing, if any applicable, sales tax and billing term for your next term of issues, and you authorize the account you provide to be charged with the rate on the notice for the next term of issues unless you cancel 4 to 10 weeks for delivery. U.S. orders only. Cancel anytime at 877-510-9333 for a refund of unmailed issues based on your total terms of service, which includes your trial issues. If a magazine becomes unavailable, it may be replaced by another with the same renewal features. Orders subject to approval for individual use only, not for resale. Optional offers. Please print out your screenshot of this page. So I was wondering what happens if I'm like, I don't want any magazines and I left it blank? Are they just going to click 3 random ones? Because a lot of software code might do that. By selecting magazines, I agree to the magazine order and payment terms. At this point in time, I close this bad boy. And then I wonder exactly what other information had they collected. Goes right back to this kind of stuff. Places where we would expect to have some almost degree of privacy, we can no longer have this. I'm thinking I should just use Tor from now on, you know? I'm legitimately thinking about using my daily driver for anything connected to the internet. Very well might be cubes, and I might use the Unix Tor network to get on here. I don't know. But this is creepy. This is creepy, people. This is creepy. 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 I'd like to find the people. Never mind. I'm not going to go there. This is a public video. Okay. But I need some tea. Pardon me, gents. I'm having a tea break. Wow. Wow. Possibly track you like Facebook Buzz does, but it's okay. Heyday by Supercell. More Mac OS or Windows Look, try Farron OS or Zorin OS. Yep. I think I like Farron better than Zorin. Farron OS, I'm going to tell you, get WPS out of there. Get WPS out of your system. Read the terms and conditions. It's scary, and it's not exactly a free system anymore. It's closed source. They put an extensive EULA. Farron, get WPS out of there. Go back to LibreOffice. Get WPS out. It's scary. Or at least confirming that you've actually read the EULA that you are having your users agree to. Because it's not in the spirit of Linux. Literally, how do they? Actually, if you look at the Gizmodo article, which will be in the link here in the show notes when I'm done, you will actually find all of the information for how they did it, how it works. It's basically a JavaScript, because you can run a JavaScript code on focus or off focus, and basically what you're doing, it's actually fairly simple. You're just taking the code that is the on focus code, whatever is the content on focus, and as soon as the JavaScript code reports off focus for that particular form field, it takes the content of the form field and was pushing it to a domain. They actually list the domain. I was thinking about blocking it on my systems as well, adding it to the block domain so that they cannot capture any of this type of data. So yeah, I just spilled my tea party. Vivaldi, there you go, Vivaldi. I might try that. So your reboot out there, LOL. All right. Who's looking for pop-up OS? Probably a useless distro. Sudo reboot is live. Hey, Sudo. I will be coming off live in just a few more articles because I got a boatload of stuff to do yet today. All right. Okay. Oh, oh, oh. My friend can request an Uber ride for me and provide my contact information to Uber. Okay, understand that when your friend requests a ride for you, this now gives Uber all of your contact information, your email address if that's in your contacts, your phone number if that's in your contacts, all this kind of stuff. And now Uber's just gonna spam the bejeebers out of you until you buy their awesome service. Remember, people, every time you call an Uber, a poor kitty like this gets clubbed in the streets. Do you want to support kitty clubbing? I don't think you want to support kitty clubbing. Call a taxi, not an Uber. So, they give us this little story. Oh, you can order an Uber for your parents. Why would you possibly put your parents in an Uber's car? Oh, your Uber for Michael is arriving in 3 minutes. Michael's paying for your trip. Track here. No. I did it. I went on fire again. Okay, guys, we need to stop with this Uber crap. And we need to get some policy in place that some other person who's not thinking and thinks, Uber's the coolest app in the world. Uber. I want to block Uber from ever having my contact information. And I would like to have some cool, awesome law that says a company may not contact me for any reason just because my friend was stupid and gave him my contact information. This is garbage. I do not want them having my contact information, and it should be illegal for my friend to give a company like Uber my information just because they think it's a great product. No. Their company is immoral and unscrupulous garbage. They are jerks. They are in the lawsuits constantly. We need to shut them down. Jeez. So now my friend can call an Uber for me and give Uber all of my contact info. No, thank you. Not that Google's getting much better. Now you can have your Google account that identifies based upon your picture. It identifies all of the cool people in there. Like, oh, you have a picture of Bob in here. Well, we're going to go ahead and just send this photo right on over to Bob because Bob wants the photo. This is creepy. This is why I don't use cloud services. This is crazy. So basically, they have suggested sharing. So you snap a photo, a big old group photo. Hey, we're at camp. Snap your group photo. Maybe you got your selfie stick. Woohoo! Snap your photo. And then Google, because of course everyone's got to sync everything to Google Cloud anyway. So Google comes up and like, hey, we see that Bob and Sarah and Jane are all in this photo. We suggest that you send this to them. Well, if they don't have an account, then it will go ahead and recognize that, probably offering them an account, but then wanted to text it or email or whatever else. But if they do have an account, now you can sync your accounts with your friends' accounts. And so if each one of you take pictures of each other, they'll automatically go back and forth to your account. This is insane. Okay? Like, I like control over things like this. I don't want to be like, of course, the only good application of this is if there's some crazy stalker out there stalking people, taking pictures of them. Wouldn't it be creepy if Google recognized who you were and you had a Google account, the other guy had a Google account, you didn't know it, but you had some stalker snapping photos of you, you don't know it, and then all of a sudden you're getting the stalker's photos in your Google account because they're taking pictures of you? Oh, this will be neat. But we got our shared libraries. Sharing our libraries. We can accept the invitations, and now we'll cross-combat everything so everybody knows everybody. This is just creepy. This is just creepy. Oh, boy. See you later, Jake Den Potato. You're probably gone by now, but see you later. Thanks for joining us. We didn't start the fire. Now I'm gonna have a copyright strike because I'm harmonizing. Never mind. I'll have to put that up. That'd be fun. Yeah. All right, last article. This is the okay then article of the day. Okay then, yeah, snapping dressers, bookshelves, lamps, cleaning supplies, ATV, and a bike to your minivan will probably get you pulled over. Oh, why would you do this? Why would you do this? I gotta say, it's epic. Is that a shopping cart? That's just hilarious. Look at how low that thing's riding. That's crazy. Appears to be several large pieces of furniture in the mix, draped towels and other fabrics like bookshelves and dressers. Oh, that's classic. That's classic. I love it. All right, folks, we are a little over an hour. I think I'm going to wrap the show up, but I'm going to feed the kitty first. We are going to feed the kitty, and then we are going to wrap it up. Oh, kitty. Oh, never mind. The kitty just ran away. Come here, kitty. Come here, kitty. Come here. Come here. We'll take care of feeding the kitty up here. Oh. Here, buddy. Right here. Oh, no. Up here. For the camera. There you go, buddy. Aww. All right, we're getting a thunderstorm out here, so I will catch you guys later. See you when we return. Maybe Sunday, maybe Monday. Not quite sure. Catch you all later.